Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. So we're going to start building up this Lapbook Folio that we've been working on together. We've made some of the pieces together, we've made, you know, the front together, and of course we did the Franken paper journal covers recently. So I think we're in a position now where we should be able to start building things up, and then we can do the embellishing on a separate video. So let's get cracking. As you can see, I'm very much working with pretty much a blank canvas because I've pulled out everything. So this was a weekly planner set, in case you didn't see the intro video. So I've pulled out everything that was inside, but I kept this sort of envelope thing because actually the colours seem to go quite well. I have removed, there was a policy closure here, but it was in orange. So I've removed that because we're going to do our own. So let's get cracking, shall we? So I'm not sure where to start. I think I'll just start from the left and work my way along. But, you know, we'll just see how it goes. So I have punched out some circles. This is what I'm going to have for my policy closure. And then I'm going to use some gold thread, which is kicking around on my desk somewhere. So I'll have to find that. So I've backed these two circles. So we're going to have two circles on each side. They are double thickness to make them nice and sturdy. So that's what we're going to be using. I will just quickly ink them whilst I'm saying hello and welcoming you to my desk. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm really excited for this project. And I know there's quite a few of you who are really liking the colours and how it's coming along. This has been my first sort of big folio flip out type thing that I've done, and it's really getting me in the mood for an altered file folder I plan on doing. Well, I'm not sure when it will be, but I want it to be in the Edith Holden theme. So okay, so we're going to punch our hole through both of these, minding my fingers. She says they're quite thick, so there we go. And I'm going to use these little gold heart brads that I've got because they're quite sweet. I thought that would be a nice focal point. And they're, you know, they're nice and small as well, so they won't get massively in the way of things. So now I do have a guide of where the hole was, so I think we should just go with that. I've just put some masking tape over it to strengthen on both sides, so that that will be hidden, you won't see that. And then yeah, it just gave me a bit of strength on the so I'm just making sure that heart is straight. There we go. Yeah, it just gave me a little bit of strength on that, where that was. And then we're going to cover this these brad legs with something in a second. So I'm not sure exactly how much we will get done in today's video. I thought if we just work for, you know, 45 minutes or so, see how much we get done, and then we can yeah, see where we're up to. As I say, I may have to do a couple of videos on building it because there is quite a bit to it, and then we'll do yeah, probably a video of embellishing as well, because I have a few things left to embellish. So right, go through here without, it's helpful that actually I've got a guide of where the holes were. So this one I've put a circle on the inside because I was worried that you might see this when you open up this pocket. Sorry if you can see the top of my head, just leaning in to make sure I've got it. Just gonna have to maneuver this around and just hold it up to myself so I can find those legs. So yeah, I appreciate, because of how big this is, I'm not entirely sure how much you're going to see today, but I will, as always, do my best. There you go. So that's those. I think they look level. So yeah, as I say, I'll have some gold thread, but I need to find that on my desk somewhere. So there we are, just checking you're in frame. Perfect. So we want to cover up these legs. So here's what I've got. I've got a label from Ninine, that collage type. I've got one of the, I think these are lilacs from her lilac kit. I think it's called, is it rustic lilac or shabby lilac or something? And then I've got a butterfly from Teal and Tattered. This was a freebie. And I thought something down there might look nice. So let's just start layering it up. I've already stenciled the inside. I did think about covering this whole inner flap with some paper, but to be honest, nothing seemed to go with this purple colour. This, that was already there. Then I thought about covering that with paper, but then it was just going to become too tricky and be unnecessary work, I have to unclog my glue. Okay, I think the glue problems are resolved. There we go, that's much better, isn't it? So yeah, we're just going to stick these bits down, just as decoration. As I say, I did think about covering the whole thing, but it just wasn't working. I was trying to plan last night, what I needed to do and all the rest of it, and it just wasn't looking right. So in the end, I thought just simple decoration. So you've got a little piece that you can open up, and then of course, open up to see. And then of course it goes with the kits. For the most part, I've used a kit from Marie's Paper Lab and also the kit from Ninine, collage type. I have got both linked below in case you want to check them out. Gorgeous kits. I've really enjoyed working with the purple because I do a lot with pinks, and this was my first, this and the purple Flower Fairies journal, the first times I'm working with purple properly. So it's been really nice. There we go. Keeping you in the frame, yeah. Fab. So that's that. Perfect. So I'll just leave that open to dry off a tad. Right, what's next? So the next piece, we need to cover up this. Now I have gone along each of the edges with washi tape. So I've covered the spine areas, and I've also covered, I've gone around the whole thing basically, and that just allowed it to have a neater edge and also cover the backing paper, which was in this sort of pinks and greens. So hopefully when we start sticking down all of our backing pieces, fingers crossed, we won't see any of the backing. As nice as it is, everything had to be in keeping with each other. So, okay, so this part has the flappy piece that we made together. So let me just grab that. So we've got the library pocket and also this piece. So just trying to remember how I was going to do it. So I had this piece around the back here. I'm just trying to decide whether this flappy bit should just be underneath that library pocket or whether it should be underneath this as well, because it's quite bulky. And I'm wondering whether that might just give it extra oomph underneath. So I think we will do that. So for this, I'm going to use the Beacon 3-in-1, only because I definitely don't want it moving around, and I feel like I just trust this a little bit more than other things. So let's do that. Hopefully it won't squirt out everywhere. I'm sure other glues would be fine, but it's just one of those things of like my first one, I just want to be absolutely sure about it, Right, let's try and get this in the right place. So as you can see, I'm just gluing it to the back of this piece, like so. There we go. That should be in the middle now. Just get rid of any glue I can see coming out. So this was made from a Terry's chocolate orange thing. So this was where, you know, the orange was and stuff. Did make these on video together, if you remember. Seems like such a long time ago now. Okay, so that will be like so. I'm just hoping I've got this in the right place. I think once it's glued down, we should be fine. So obviously that wants to kick up, but that's just because it needs gluing down. As I say, it's quite a chunky piece being packaging, so I think again we'll use the beacon just to be sure. Now, I did hope we would get the whole thing built up today in this video, but we might not. But you know, I'm just going to take my time with it, because obviously with it having lots of flips and flaps and things, I don't want to get the flips and flaps wrong. And so if we have to do a part 2, then no biggie. I know a few of you like to watch things come together, so right, let's just move this into place. It's actually been really nice to do this project, because it's been very like quite modular. Like I've been able to split it down into, you know, certain tasks. And I know you can kind of do that with journal making, but it has felt different. You know, we made some of the ephemera together at the beginning, like this piece, and you know, just sort of panel by panel, really, figuring out where everything's going to go. It's been really, really nice. So I might need to get in the edges with some of my tacky glue, like here, for example. What I might do is the intricate gluing, I'll probably just pause for those parts. So yeah, just really where the edges are, because I don't like the Fabri-Tac or beacon glooping out everywhere, because it gives you this horrible finish. So where possible, I do try to avoid going to the edges with that particular glue. The tacky glue is fine, it doesn't seem to have as big of a problem. Okay, like that. Okay, now I have to remember, so obviously this kicks up. I was going to have this here, so that will just be another layer to keep it in place, and as you can see, we get the butterfly through the window. But I was going to have some ribbon that I was going to pop under here, to then have this keep this part down, like so. So I'm just going to do my best to tie a bow so that I can see how much ribbon I need, and then I'll get it stuck to the back. Now it is going to be quite bulky, because this is quite a big, like a wide ribbon, but I just really liked the colours, you know, that the jewel tones of purple. And being a folio rather than a journal, I think there is space, but obviously we don't want to cover the window, so just trying to decide, oops, where I would like the bow to be. And then obviously we can cut that down. Okay, I think I've changed my mind about this purple ribbon. I still love it, but I just felt like it was too bulky. As much as there is room being a folio, I just think, yeah, it was too much. So I've got a thinner ribbon. This is a very pale pink. Almost like it will pick out the colours here in the pinks, because we do have pink in the folio, it's not just purple. So I think that's what we will have. So I want to get this glued down onto the back of the pocket, about there. So here. And of course this pocket does have this, so we're going to take that off. These are library card pockets that Tanya sent me for Christmas. She sent me a pack of things that she sells in her shop. This was one of them. So, and she did say they were very sticky, even when you tea dye them. Oh gosh, yes, that's very sticky. So I'm just going to pop some masking tape over that ribbon. Oops. Make sure I don't stick myself to this pocket. They are very sticky. There we go, perfect. And then I'm just going to put a spot of glue on the masking tape, but I don't think the rest of it needs glue because that is very sticky. So we'll get that stuck down. Okay. And I want to come down to the bottom. Make sure we get it in the right place because that is very sticky. They're great. Okay. So that's that. I think that's level. And then might need to do some more bone foldering with this piece, but that looks like that will keep just fine. So let's put the card back in. So with the card, I just added some stickers, fussy cuts, and some stenciling. That butterfly just pokes its head out just there. Lots of butterflies in this folio. But yeah, I've been very addicted to using butterflies recently. So let's tie this down. Okay, and then I'll tidy up that bow a bit more later, but for now that seems to be keeping the piece down, which is the main thing. Okay, wonderful. So that is that side essentially done. I'll do the gold trim in a minute. So what we get is we get this piece, and if you remember, we did this together, and then I've just popped in some little stamps, and this obviously this flips down for a little bit of journaling space behind that cute heart. So that is our first flap, flippy flap, done. Okay, that seemed to go okay, so that's good. It's a bit nerve-wracking doing the flips because, of course, you know, you want to make sure that you stick everything down correctly, so as not to ruin the interactive element of it, you know. But no, that looks nice. All right, that is one side almost done. So whilst we're here, shall we do the, I'm using this gold sparkly trim. I have tons of this, but I really like this for the policy closures because it's such a pretty sparkly trim. Right, so let's get in between these two circles just here. Now they're quite thick, so hopefully we can get in. Perfect, there we go. All right, and then we're just going to tie a knot underneath the policy closure, just so. And then I do a second knot because just in case. So I then also do another knot like that. Okay, and then just go around that a couple of times, and then we can come in here. She says, can't see what I'm doing. Really wish I could just lean over, you know, but if I did that, you'd just see the top of my head. And yeah, I've got all grey hairs coming now. Okay, and then that's a few times, that's plenty. We can always shorten that later. So we'll do that. Now I am thinking this twine can sometimes fray a little bit. So I'm going to tie a knot just to be sure, because then, you know, it halts how much it can fray. We want to chop this bit off. Okay. And I'm just going to Where is my, here it is. I just want to poke that thread in so you can't see the end where I've just cut it. Like that, look. So I've got a knot in this. So it'll end there like that. I think it's okay that it hangs down like that. I think that's fine. So for inside here, obviously we've done the decoration, and then I've got our first bird card, which I believe is this one. We made these together. Little did we know they would be for this folio. So I'm going to put it in the back. So that's that one. Does it fit? Pretty sure it fits. It's a little bit, maybe we'll just put it in the front. There, it fits. There we go. And then I'm going to put an envelope of goodies in the back as well. Once I'm finished with the project, I may have you know, pieces that are spare pieces, I suppose, embellishments and things. So I'll see what we've got, and then we'll put some more pieces in a little envelope in there. So that's that. Right. Okay, so that is officially one side pretty much finished. We might do some further embellishing, but we're not at that stage yet. So moving on to the middle section. So the spines, I was going to put some lace down, so I think we should probably do that now. So I've got the washi down the middle, which I do like, but then I thought the lace just finishes it off a bit more, you know. It also gives it strength, because at the end of the day this is a upcycled project, so best to be safe than sorry. Just cut that a little bit straighter. My cutting. There we go. Alright, so we're going to have that just along there. And then we want the other piece. I had that horrible thought for a second then, I'd stopped filming. But we haven't. We're good. And this piece here. This is some beautiful vintage lace that my husband's great aunt sent me, so I'm still working my way through the first bits that she sent. She was very, very generous. It was very nice of her. Okay, so that's going to go there. Cool. All right, so we're in the middle section. So this is where we have the envelopes. So let's, I've done the first envelope already. That's this one. Because these are going to be flip out pockets. But I was going to wait to do the second one with you. So this is the like the part that you put the address on. So that is just matted with this beautiful lilac paper. But we're going to use the back here and keep it as a pocket. So I've got this piece which will go on here. Just making sure I've got it the right way around. Yes. Let me just bring the bring the piece in. So this one's going to go at the bottom just here, and then flip down and you see the lilacs. So we want it to be this way, that's fine. So lots of people have done this before. I've done it myself as well. So we're just going to basically just follow the lines of the envelope. So we're going to go round the edges here, down the side here, around the lip, and then fill in between, so that it stays as a pocket, it stays as an envelope. So that's what we're doing. And just got to make sure, just be careful with the gluing. I normally go around with tacky glue, but the last one I did with this Kalau and it actually worked just fine. But I will do tacky glue down that top part, because I don't want it spewing out everywhere. But I'll do that after. So let's make sure we're the right way up. So we're going this way and this way. So I'm going to slip that in. Okay, and I'll just rub that down, make Making sure we haven't closed up the envelope part though. So I'm just going to double check. Oops. Need to open up the pocket, but I wanted to wait until we'd done the matting first, you know. Oops. That dangerous gluing getting on my desk again. That's okay. The good thing about the Kalal is, yes, it gloops out everywhere, but it doesn't dry with this shiny finish like Beacon does. So I don't mind getting to the edges with that, just as long as I don't glue the piece to my desk. Okay, and then we're going to do the final edge, which is just this one. So we want to unclog our glue again, and let's come along this final edge. I'm getting to the bottom of this tacky glue, but I'm determined not to. I want to keep using it because it's one of my favouriteest glues, despite the problems. But I really should get my other glues out. There we go. Okay, so just done a thinnish, a thinnish wobbly line. Could do with tissue. I haven't got one out. Okay, so that just closes up the envelope. Okay. I'm going slow because, you know, this flippy flaps is still, you know, fairly new to me. And I just don't want to make a silly mistake, you know. And I'm sure, you know, mistakes can be rectified. I'd rather not have that pressure this morning. Right, so we need to open up the side of it. So I'm just going to slit this side with my guillotine, so I'll just be 2 secs. Okay, so that's the 2 envelopes open now. So they're both pockets. So this is how we're going to do it. We've got this back panel, which is going to go here. We've got the top envelope with the flap this way going at the top just here. And then we're going to have this bottom one at the bottom here underneath. And that's going to flap down to reveal the lilacs. And then I thought, basically I was looking for something to be here. Now originally I thought I was going to have something to do with the wax seal, but I just don't think it was quite right. So yeah, well, there's a video coming on this soon, and so I mentioned then about possibly using this in the project, but I've changed my mind. Instead, I think we're best just having a simple policy closure with the gold thread, and I think that will be enough for that. So first of all, we want to put our brad through the circles. Again, these are double thickness, just like the first one, but these are 1 inch circles. Those were 1.5, just because I realised I needed a smaller circle for the bottom envelope, you see. That's the only reason for that. Okay, so let's want it to be about there. So I'm just going to mark a pencil marking where I'm going to punch the hole. Now I have to be careful not to go all the way through my envelope. I don't want a hole here. So I'm sure there are easier ways to do this, but you know, I decided on the policy closure later on. So I'm just going to put my hand through. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to be ever so careful not to get my hand and just poke a hole through that first layer of the envelope. Okay, I think that's it. Put our brad through. Just gonna see it. Can I see it? Can I see the legs? Yes, I can. Okay, and then I'm going to reach in and just open up those legs, which I might need to pause to do it because I have a feeling I'm going to have to put my head right in there, but we'll see. As I say, there are probably easier ways to do this, but it's just one of those things I decided, whilst it was too late, that I wanted to use the policy closure. So let me just have a little peek in. Yeah, we're in. Okay, whoops. That's the first one. I don't know how much of that you could see, but we're in. So that's that. So right, let's mark out where we want the other circle to be on the other envelope. So if we imagine this here. Okay, let me do the brad first. Oops. It's been really fun to do this project, you know, starting with this blank canvas and turning it into something. It's been lots of fun. Okay, that's that one. So where is my pencil? Here we go. So if we inline here, we popped that there. Yes, I think that would be fine. So again, do the same thing. Just going to go through the top layer of the envelope as best I can. So again, my hand is going in. Okay. And use my other hand to open up the brad legs. As I say, I'm probably making this look really fiddly, but it's just one of those things. I couldn't think of any other way to do this. You know, after deciding that I wanted to do the brads, the policy closure, like that wasn't the plan originally. I was actually going to have, so I'm just going to do this a sec. Okay, I'm through. Sorry, that one was proving a little bit trickier. I had to get my head right in there to do it. So we've got the 2 policy closures on now. So that's all fine there. Okay, so now we want to glue the flaps of the envelopes to the back panel. So again, we're just going to go one at a time. I think I will use the Kalau for this because these are not as heavy as that piece. So I think the Kalau would be just fine. So just going to glue along there. And if it gloops out, then as I say, it doesn't leave that horrible shiny residue. Okay, so just slipping in there. Basically just going until it feels like it's in the right place. And if it's hanging straight, that's a plus. Could do it going in a bit more, I think. Ooh, am I pushing one side faster than the other? Yes, I am. There. I think it just wants to be hanging down a bit more. There we go. So yeah, I appreciate this video is not going to be the best in terms of what you're seeing, but I hope it's giving you some ideas, even if for me it's clearly a bit of trial and error. Right, let's get rid of that excess glue. Okay, and I can always rub that off a bit more later as well. Okay, so that's the one. I think that's in the right place. Okay, it's just gluing the flap down now. That's in the right place there, so that can go down. Right, so that's the one. I think it's hanging a little bit lopsidedly, but that was probably just me. Me and my wonky eyes. I don't think that will be a problem. Don't know if I can push it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same on the bottom side. So that one's gluing this side. Yeah, as I say, I didn't originally plan to do the 2 envelopes. I was actually going to have 3, and then have them all on the same side. But because my envelopes are the same size as each other, it was actually proving really difficult. And in the end I decided, you know what, let's just have 2, and then we can have this policy closure idea as well. And I think that has, I definitely think it will work better. Sorry, I know you probably cannot see any of this. It's such a big piece and it's all splayed out like that. It's just... Okay, I think that's fine. And then just to be sure, I'm just going to just get that little lip. It's not like anything's going to be going down the back of here or anything, but best be safe than sorry. Right, so how are we looking? I think we're good. As I say, I think they're slightly uneven, but I'm not going to faff with it because just as long as it looks neat. I don't know if that wants going over a bit. The thing is, from the front from the back it looks fine, and you turn it over and it's a little bit wonky. Let me just see. I think it might be the piece, actually. I think it might be the envelope's wonky. That's not going to be a problem. Just for looks, it doesn't affect the functionality of the piece, it's just how it looks. Don't know, we can always cut the back panel down a bit maybe, because I liked the idea of the envelopes hiding that back panel, you see. So I'm just going to hit pause and see if I can do some realigning, because otherwise it's going to take ages. Okay, so I think we'll almost need to stop the video, but yeah, basically those are on there now, and I just did some inking, so we're going to glue this whole piece down. For that I'm happy to use the Kalau, because obviously this back panel just stays where it is. So I'm going to put plenty of glue on though, and that will be that section. Well, at least some of that section. I still have a little bit more to do. I'm hoping I might be able to get that done on today's video, fingers crossed. So just going to glue the whole thing down. Okay. As I say, it's been nice to be able to do it panel by panel, you know. It really has felt like you could just split it down into sections and just take them essentially one at a time as their own little, I don't know, their own little page type of a thing. Okay, I think we're all glued down. I can always go in with, you know, get the finer edges with my smaller nozzle. But I think we're good. Okay, fab. So then we can put the gold twine just like on that side down here. And then for the back piece, we made this together. I'm going to have that as a tuck, so glue on 2 sides, and have this card we made together. This is going to go into the back here if it fits, ideally so that it fits as a tuck, but so you can see that butterfly peeping up. And then this right hand side, we've got this panel, similar to how we did this one. I'm just going to glue that straight down. And then we've got this piece, which this is the piece from Cluedo. I think I did this off camera. I just basically covered it with some paper and some fussy cuts. And then we're going to have this in the pocket. I actually made these on my very first YouTube tutorial. They were specimen cards out of junk mail envelopes, and it fitted perfectly and it was the right colours, so we're going to have that there. So those pieces are just going to get stuck down, so I'll do that off camera, and then we can, well, we have to think about the front and the back, and then we're going to add some embellishments and some decorations and things. So I'll get those stuck down now, and then when we come back we will carry on where we're leaving it, and that'll be that. So I hope you're liking how it's looking so far. I hope the video wasn't too bad. I know it's such a big piece with it all flipped out that it's been a struggle to keep you on camera, but I think we've just about managed. So I hope to see you on the next video, and I'll speak to you then. Bye bye for now.